Yo, what's going on guys? Jackpack here, and today I have a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. For the past 2 months, I've been off the most addicting drug that I've ever taken in my entire life, and it's Adderall. For those of you who don't know, this is prescribed to people with ADHD, and it's supposed to help you focus and help your mind stop being so clouded with all these ideas, but it's not really the whole story. For 4 years, I was on Adderall with the idea that I was diagnosed with ADHD, very severe, and that I needed these drugs in order to focus in school and to perform daily tasks that other people can do that I can't because of my mental condition. I started off with a low dose, but because of the severity of my diagnosis, I've actually had to go up to 60 at one point, 60 milligrams of Adderall, and that was the peak of the battle. Before prescribing me, they forgot to mention that these drugs were originally given to soldiers in like World War II, so that they would stay up for hours on end, always alert and very focused. They also forgot to mention that these drugs are on the same classification as cocaine. These are called class 2 narcotics. They also forgot to mention how addictive these drugs can be. They told me that it was something that I needed, something that would help me, and that there was no real negative downsides to it. However, last year I did some research on them, and they're actually related with higher blood pressure, and they can lead to CVD, which is cardiovascular disease. Now, I don't know about you, but my family has cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure in the bloodline. So yeah, I don't think it's smart to be prescribing kids with that medical condition these wonder drugs that are supposed to help you with everything you do. However, I kept using them because I didn't think I was addicted. I thought I needed these to get through school, to get through my work, because without them I was nothing. Now, I didn't do a lot of research on this because I think knowledge comes from people's understanding on things. It's not factually written that beating your dog is a bad thing, but because we see the effect it has on not only the dog, the people around them, the owner's mental state usually, we know it's a bad thing. So I'm gonna be doing the same thing with these dog beating pills, and just talking about my experiences with them and how they've completely changed my life and took it over at one point. When I started taking them, I was in my freshman year of high school, and the workload, in high school is a lot rougher than middle school, elementary school, all these other things. So I was starting to fall behind in my classes because I couldn't stay focused. Ever since I was a kid, my parents thought I had Tourette's or something, because I would always sneeze really weird. I would always be crawling around the classroom, doing the bridge in the middle of the lesson. I was a wild, to say, kid. So the day I got on these, I noticed two main things. I was doing much better in school, and I was losing weight fast. At one point when I was, I think, 13. Before I started taking them, I was a 14-year-old, and I weighed close to 200 pounds. I was obese, and I started taking them, and not only 3 months later, I was 130 pounds. They completely destroyed my want to eat. I didn't eat dinner, I didn't eat breakfast, and when I did eat, it was Rice Krispies in lunch or ice cream after dinner, which I didn't have. To be honest, I felt even more like a nut job on the meds than off of them. But the other side effects I didn't really realize until two years later when I moved to Sweden. Before I moved, I only had a few weeks notice before I left everyone that I knew and loved behind. And me and my parents moved to a country which our grandparents, they haven't even been out of the US, but we're just leaving out of nowhere. When I got to this new Swedish school, the workload was much more. If you know Americans, usually when they take normal classes, they're not the smartest people in the world. And so when I moved to Sweden, that was a lot different because these people were pretty smart, and the curriculum was college level. It was really rough for me, and I realized that without the medicine, I was absolutely nothing. But that's exactly how they hook you on this medicine. I don't think you realize, but the second I started taking it, I couldn't do anything when I was off them for weeks. I was just a corpse walking around. It was nothing going on in my brain. I couldn't focus on anything. I couldn't even have social interactions without wanting to puke. because it was just so out of my comfort zone and I needed to just sit down and restore. I think that's the reason these drugs are so addictive. Not because of what they do to you, but because of the feeling of not wanting to go through the withdrawal. You're absolutely useless for weeks. You can't do anything, you can't think anything. Everything that you do, all your interactions are really forced and they're not normal, they're not natural, they're painful in some experiences. Everything just fucking sucks so bad. And that means if you're a normal person like me, going in school, having a job, doing anything productive, you can't get off of them because you need weeks to actually recover. You need weeks because this drug advances your brain, advances your physical capabilities to a point where you can't reach, you physically cannot reach these capabilities off of the medicine. I remember doing like 2 hours of gym every day for months on end because I could. And after the gym, I would study for hours because I can't, like the day I went off of my meds, like whenever on the weekends, I did nothing. I tried to work out and it actually felt like one of the worst experiences of my life. Like someone was banging my head with the sledgehammer because I was so out of it. I was so just out of it. I couldn't do anything but sit at home, eat tons of food, like 7,000 calories, and watch TV because my brain was incapable of doing anything else. And it's the exact same when you're quitting. But regardless of that, it doesn't mean that any one person is incapable of getting off of this medication. Mentally, when I was on these drugs, I'll break down exactly how one day would be. I got up out of my bed, I couldn't do anything. I showered sometimes, but most of the time I would go straight down to the kitchen, open a bottle, and just drink water, take a pill, and that's when my day started. It's ridiculous. I can't even get out of bed. I can't even take a shower without this medication. And because I had to take it in the morning, that means I was never hungry enough for breakfast. Because every time you take this medicine, no matter what it is, no matter what dose, you lose your appetite really quickly. At least right after when you take it. It basically allows you to focus on one thing to an extent that you can never focus on it before. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It all depends on what your mental state is at the point of time when taking it. So sometimes in the morning I'd get so hyper fixated on how I looked that I couldn't even go to class. I was checking my hair in the mirror. I had this massive bush on my head. I was checking it every second of the day because that's the thing that I focused on. And this medicine did nothing but encourage that behavior. Other days I'd get up and I would just instantly get to class and instantly start learning. Not even an hour after waking up, I would be in class learning to the degree that it takes some people hours to get ready, to get primed to that moment. My circadian rhythm didn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if I learn the most knowledge at 11 to everyone else. That's the natural cycle of things. Not on this goddamn medicine. I would get up at fucking 8 o'clock and I would start learning to an extent that no one else could. The day I got home, I would instantly clean up the entire room. I would sit down, study some days. Other days, I would be too focused on holding social interactions that I'd go out and talk to my friends. But regardless of everything, I always had a rhythm. I would do this, I would do that, and there was no questions asked. I would do it. That's not normal. It's not normal to be that focused on everything. It's not normal. Of course, this medication got me through school, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's not normal to do these things. And I didn't know that because I took the medicine every day. My mom takes the medicine every day. That's how I think things have to be done. But it's not. Humans aren't supposed to just completely sit down and work on everything through logic and facts. We're supposed to think. We're supposed to have a creative aroma around us that helps us make decisions. And we're supposed to make these decisions because we feel like it, not because we're forced to and we have no other option. It takes away the humanity in me. It makes me more AI than human. And it sucked. It was awful, and I didn't know that it was bad until I got off of it. Off of medicine, sure, I'm not nearly as proactive. It takes a good push to get me to go vacuum the house or clean my room or make a video, but I still do it because that's the human nature. I have to push myself. It shouldn't just come to me naturally where I do everything that I need to do. It's supposed to be a challenge. That's the whole point of living on Earth. Life isn't easy, it's not sweet, but we still live it, no? I mean, we live it every day. Just because I have this diagnosis doesn't mean that I'm hindered from living that human life. And I say diagnosis because ADHD is a spectrum. It's not, oh, you have ADHD, oh, let's drug you up like fucking crazy. No, it's you're on the short end where it's hard, but you can still function. You don't need it. You have the medium end where it's hard, yeah, of course, but you don't really need it. And then you have the high end where you're actually incapable of doing things. Now, I'm right between medium and high end, but I still don't feel I need it, you know? I'm still perfectly capable of performing everyday tasks. All it takes is a little push. All it takes is motivation. All it takes is determination that you will do this and you will succeed. I believe in every single thing I do, just like YouTube. I believe in everything. I believe in my own capabilities, and I know that if I put myself in this situation that it will be done. And that's not because of medicine, or else I wouldn't be making videos right now. I would just be sitting on my couch doing nothing. It's not because of that. It's because I believe in myself, and it's because I believe in my abilities. On medicine, I didn't believe in myself, I believed in the medicine. Do you know what I mean? I believed that I could be what this medicine wanted me to be. As a matter of fact, I didn't believe anything at all. I just did what the medicine told me to do. And I know that sounds fucking insane, but it's true. It's really true. And that kind of proves the uselessness of this drug. I took Adderall and I got, I think, 18 points out of a 45-point curriculum, IB. You need 24 to pass. I got 18. I still passed, I don't know how. I had like 70% attendance rate. And I still went into the next grade. And the next year, I still took the medicine, but the difference is I believed in myself. And I ended up with a 30, you know? And this medicine doesn't do really anything. It's all you. You're the one who decides your own fate. And sure, it's gonna be really hard, really fucking hard to quit. But as long as you have the time and you know, you wake up each day as you're sitting there on the couch, recovering from these years of addiction. As long as you know to yourself, this is exactly what I want to do. You're sure in your decision. And you keep doing it every day, no matter how boring or dull the day seems, no matter how much it seems you've wasted the day. If you still sit down and just believe in your own abilities, then you will get off this medicine and you will perform worse. But who needs to be 110%? Nobody. As long as you're 100%, then that's all that matters. That's really all that matters. I know people with worse ADHD than me, and they weren't on medicine, they were undiagnosed, and they went through school perfectly. I had medicine and I did shit until I believed in myself. That's really all it is. And I think that goes for any addiction. As long as you believe in yourself, then you can do it. Something that helps is having an entire bottle there and still waking up every day and going through the shitty life that off medicine is. That gave me motivation. That every day I had the ability to, and I still said no. Another thing that helps is not telling anybody that you're quitting for at least a few weeks, at least 2 months, a month. Because our brain works on a reward system. If we quit and we do it for others, then we tell them that we quit, we get the pleasure from it, and then we go back to it. I told nobody except my parents that I was quitting, and it made for some awkward scenarios where I was sitting there really uncomfortable with people that I've been super chill with my entire life. Because I felt like puking, because I felt like dying inside, because I couldn't socialize. But I didn't tell them, I still didn't tell them. And it pays off when you can. It really does. I know this video was kind of all over the place. Well, that's slightly because I have ADHD. So, but that's fine. I think it's my own style, and I love everything that I do, and I believe in myself every day. And even if my videos are all over the place, I still believe in them because they're me, they're mine. It's exactly how my mind works. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much for 200 thank you for 200 subscribers. Thank you for 200 subscribers. It means the world. See you guys in the next one. I missed